Good afternoon, guys, and welcome. This is a bit of a different post on FIFA FX from the usual FIFA 20. Last Thursday saw the release of 2K Games' new golf game, PGA Tour 2K21. So, as I was a big fan of the Tiger Woods games back on the PS3 and the PS4 from EA, I thought we'd delve in and have a little look. Become a little bit oversaturated with the footy gaming season. Obviously, due to the current situation, it dragged on for a lot longer than it normally would, and just wanted a break really and some time to play some different games. So I've parked my FIFA 20 and we've picked up with PGA Tour Golf 2K21. So I hope you'll find some interest in this. It might encourage you to pick the game up yourself, give it a go if you're a golf fan. I'm not a massive golf fan in real life as in the actual sport. I admire the talent and dedication it takes to become good at the game, but I really enjoy the golf games, so we're going to dig in. There's two main modes to this game. There's the online element, which contains societies, so you can join, you can create societies, create your own clubhouse, set your own rules, design your own tournaments, and then you can charge people to join and charge an entry fee to your tournaments, and then obviously the winners and runners up etc get paid out of that pot. It's all virtual in-game currency, of course, not real money. You earn XP and money from winning tournaments, participating in tournaments, achieving certain targets on certain holes, etc. And then there's the offline element, which is the actual PGA Tour career mode, which is really good, and in true 2K style, the presentation and graphics and broadcast elements are absolutely superb. You have two options. You can start as a fully fledged pro and jump straight into the PGA Tour, competing all the tournaments throughout the season with the ultimate aim of qualifying for the FedEx Cup at the end of the season and then competing in that. Or you can start as a brand new golfer, create your own identity, model it on yourself, whoever, start at the very bottom, compete in the Q School, which is like an amateur semi-pro type golf tournament with a number of tournaments, and then you need to finish in the top 25 in that to qualify for the Corn Ferry Tour. On the Corn Ferry Tour, you then need to finish in, which is another series of tournaments, 4 or 5 tournaments I believe. You need to finish in the top 25 to qualify for the PGA Tour and get your PGA card for the next season, or you can finish in the top 75 to enter a playoff to qualify for the PGA Tour. I've been through all of that. I've played the Q School, I've played the Corn Ferry Tour, and I won 3 events on the Corn Ferry Tour, which enabled me instant qualification for the following season's PGA Tour. So that's where I'm going to jump in. I've played a series of events in the PGA Tour season already. I've won, I believe, 3 or 4, actually I've won 4 of those events. When the game loads in a second, hopefully we'll be able to have a look at those events that I've won. I have been playing the game on a fairly easy-ish difficulty, whilst I get used to the mechanics and the controls and the way the game plays, etc. As I said, I'm not a big golf fan, so just familiarising myself with all the everything that goes with the game. But let's just jump into records here. My player, there we go. So my player, here we go. I have 4 victories. I've had 5 top 10 finishes, 5 top 20 finishes. I'm number 1 currently in the FedEx Cup points ranking, and 5.5 million in winnings so far. So that'd be nice if that was true. So what we're going to do is, before actually I jump into the game, I just wanted to show you the settings, because you have a whole host of settings here. You can literally customize the game to your heart's desire. It's you can choose how many rounds per event. You can choose the CPU skill deviation, the deviation between rounds, wind difficulty, green firmness, green speed, fairway firmness, all that kind of stuff. And you can also go into more enhanced difficulties within the actual tour itself and change the swing. So let me bring up the profile menu. If we go down to settings and come down to difficulty here, you can see you can change your swing difficulty, swing timing, distance control, putt previews, course yardage. There's a whole host of stuff in here that you can change, a little bit like FIFA 20 sliders really, just to completely tailor the game to the way that you want. As we know, golf can be a very frustrating game, and it's the same in the video game. So if something's just becoming a little bit frustrating and holding you back, you can tweak that and make it maybe a little bit easier, just until we get used to the mechanics. Or as I have done, after my first 3 tournament wins, I found it was a little bit easy, so I tweaked the difficulty, up the AI difficulty, decreased the variation in like their difficulty and skill level between rounds, reduced the swing meter, so I had to be more precise with my swings, just various settings to make it a bit difficult for me. And then I went and won the very next tournament, but only by like a shot. By 1 stroke, whereas before I was winning by 5, 6, 7 strokes. So it's pretty good. Right, we're going to jump straight in here. We're next event up is the Juno Cup at the Copper Dunes. So 500 FedEx Cup points on offer for that. Here we see no sponsor contract. Okay, in this game you get awarded sponsor contracts, or you can seek sponsor contracts depending on how well you play and your performance. It opens up contracts. Lots of big names in here: Adidas, Bridgestone, TaylorMade, Callaway, etc. So I could go in and I could have a look at Under Armour, and you can see the kind of equipment that Under Armour offer down in the left hand corner, and you can choose from 3 different types of contract: an easy, a medium and a hard. I tend to go for the medium at the moment. So for this one, over a course of 3 events, shoot 4 consecutive birdies in a single round, finish a round with a hot proximity to hole of 34 or less, and hit a drive of 315 yards or longer in the PGA Tour event. So we'll go for that. I'll confirm that, and then if I manage to achieve all those objectives over the series, then I'll unlock all the Under Armour apparel and clubs and stuff that are on offer for this contract, and also earn a bunch of XP, which is the in-game currency that lets you buy new clubs, buy new clothes, new gloves, new equipment, and also you can use it when you go online to enter tournaments and all that kind of stuff. So you can see there we've signed the contract with Under Armour, and then I'm just going to jump straight in and play this Juno Cup event. Now you'll see the presentation in the game is superb in the way that it works. There's no, when you've played a shot, there's no moving out of the screen to go back to a menu screen to see the leaderboard or to see what's going on. It flows. You'll play a hole, and then it will automatically cut to a cutscene of another golfer who's in or around you in the standings or at the top, or just looking to make the cut, playing their shot, and it will show you their shot, and then you can switch straight back to your shot straight away. There's no moving away to menus or loading. It's all seamless, so it flows very well. It keeps you engaged. And also the course is pretty much alive, so if you're stood around on the tee or whatever, or just lining up a fairway shot, you'll hear a cheer from somewhere from the crowd, and the commentator will say that there's action going on somewhere else on the course. And once you've played your shot, often the camera then will flick over to what's just gone on that you've heard in the background. So it does feel like there's stuff going on all around you, and you're not just banging a ball down a fairway 18 times and on your own. It's very good the way they've done it. It's a brilliant presentation from 2K. So here we are. I'll just give you a little bit of a rundown of the HUD, so you can know what's going on screen. As you can see here, up in the left hand corner, we've got the my name, my nationality, the tournament we're playing in. We're on the first tee. It's a par 4. We're on the first shot. We're evens at the moment, obviously, because we haven't paid a shot. Directly to the side of that, we see the wind meter above the trajectory line. So at the moment, we've got a 9 miles an hour northwesterly wind. And then over to the right, we see the yardage of the current club that's selected. And then you've got the ability to move your club up and down. You can scroll through the different clubs. You can change your shot type. So you can choose between chip, pitches, flop shots, splashes, all that kind of stuff. Below that, down in the bottom right hand corner, you see several icons like binoculars, etc. So binoculars is the scout camera. That's what we use here. So we can zoom down the course and adjust our shot accordingly. This is where we play the aim. So we've got a 10 mile an hour westerly wind, which is, you know, it's quite a strong wind. So we want to kind of be aiming it over here so that the wind brings it back into the middle of the course. And then we can come out of that. We've got a shot trajectory icons here, which brings up on the right hand side, you'll see the circle and the bar. So using that left stick there, I can change the trajectory of the shot. So I can add loft to it, or I can hit it lower so it carries further but doesn't quite go as far in the air. And on the right hand side, I can add open up the face of my club for lofted shots, or close the face of my club to drive out of rough, etc. So you've got a lot of control on what's going on. You can also flick to an overview of the hole, and it shows you how many yardages you want to help you hit the green in regulation. So you can kind of get an idea of what club to choose. And then you can press R3 as well, and you'll notice bottom left, we've entered practice swing mode, so we can just perform some practice swings. Now you'll see as I'm swinging on the right hand side, the circle, what the mechanics for this game are: you pull back on the right hand stick to perform your backswing, and then flick the right stick forward to perform your downswing to hit the ball. That white line down the center of the circle is your true shot meter. Anything in that white line means you've hit a true shot. It's going to stay pretty much straight. The slightly wider grey bar, darker grey bar out on the outside of the white line is your shot forgiveness meter. So anything outside of that white line but still inside the grey bar means your shot will deviate slightly. If you, for instance, if I do that and so you can see the line that I've kind of the path that I've made with my right stick swing has gone outside the white line, but it's still inside the grey line. So it means it will curl slightly to the left. But if I was to go, let's try and hit a wild swing. There you go. Look, I've swung that like right outside, so that shot would wildly swing off to the left. So you get an idea of how the mechanics work. So I'm going to exit the practice swing, and we're going to try and play our first shot. Now it's dynamic, as you can see. The weather has changed. The wind has changed now. It's only 9 miles an hour, where it was 10 before, but still the same sort of aiming marker. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to hit a driver straight down the fairway and hopefully land one in the middle of the fairway. Now at the bottom, you see below the golfer's feet, you see you've got the swing meter. As you pull your backswing back, you want to be hitting it in that little white band, which is maximum power. Into the red is an overshot. It means it gives you more power, but your fine tuning of the swing is affected, so it'll be harder to hit a true swing. In the little grey bar just before it, again, that's like sort of 95 to 100% power, and that's how it works. So let's play our first shot and see how we go. See, I underhit that then. That was quite a poor shot. I only hit that with 90% power. Performed the downswing too quickly, but as you can see, it was a pretty accurate shot, but I should have had another 50 yards on that. So we've got 155 yards here to the green. We're going to hit a 7-iron. It's got a carry of 5 yards. I'm aiming 154, so that's going to go slightly past. I'm going to adjust my shot slightly. It does take time to kind of get this in and dial in your, take into account the wind, what club you're trying to hit, the yardage, whether the green's elevated or whether it's downhill, or all that kind of stuff. And your different shot types, like your pitch and your flop and splash, etc. So I've spent an hour or so on the driving range and on the fairways just practicing all different types of shots and trying to get my yardages dialed in. So I feel that I'm okay at it now, but obviously always room for improvement. 9 mile an hour wind here, so we're going to hit it slightly over here. 7-iron, and let's see how we go with this. Much better shot, slightly outside the true shot marker, so you can see it deviate off to the side. Just didn't quite get enough on it to land it on the front of that green there. Okay, this shows us our trajectory. You can turn this on and off as well, this blue line. You can play without any assistance whatsoever if you're that good. Gonna bump this up just to 5 yards to allow for the carry. The wind shouldn't affect this short distance too much. Gonna try and land this next to the hole and take a par on this. 2 yards more and that would have gone in. Okay, the putting, again, works exactly the same way with the downswing and the backswing on the right stick, but obviously you get the grid lines and the little white indicators are, or the deviance of the green and how fast the slope is. So take the pin out for this. You can see it's just aiming just slightly to the side of here. And let's try and sink this for a nice easy first tee par. That was awful, absolutely awful. I'd make these shots probably 9 times out of 10, but obviously lack of concentration whilst talking. Let's try again.
Oh, what a stroke.
Yeah, bogeyed the first hole. Not great, but you know, we'll pull it back.
Currently at +1 for the tournament.
Starting off with the bogey at first, not tragic. You got a lot of holes to make it up. Let's see how they deal with it.
There you go, you can see the leaderboard. I'm tied 16th at the moment after that bogey. Great commentary as well. There's a free man commentary team, all golf pros, etc. But it's just excellent presentation. It does feel like you're at a real golf event. So with this, I'm going to hit the driver. I'm not sure if I should try and put some fade on it and curl this around that little dog leg, or just try and play it safe. Right, we've bogeyed, so we're going to play it safe. I'm going to drop down. Actually, I'm going to keep it as a driver, but I'm going to put a lot of lob on this shot, so you can see the left moving up and down. Put lob and open up the club face. Only so much of it you can do with a driver, of course. Aim over here as well because of the wind. But hopefully that should see us sit just in front of that bunker on the fairway. 97% power. Could have done with a little bit more, but there we go. Exactly where I wanted it. Massive uphill shot now to the green. Wind's going almost directly against us. 9 miles an hour. 194 yards to the pin. We're going to hit with the 4 hybrid club. Does 193, carries 8 yards. So I'm gonna put a bit of loft on this just to try and stop it from hitting the green and then carrying off over the back. The wind's against us as well, so maybe we can bump that yardage up just a tiny bit. There we go. Let's try that. See how we go with that.
Going with the hybrid.
It's not looking too bad. It needs to come down, hit the front of that green. And you can speed the shot up by pressing triangle if you don't want to wait. That wasn't bad. I could have done with a few more yards on that, but it wasn't bad. Okay, with putting, it's every green just has its own feel. You can see which way it's sloping and stuff, but it's just down to the feel of how it looks and feels to you at the time when you're playing. It's hard to explain otherwise. Slight right to left graduation, picks up a little bit, quite a few feet. We'll try this and get it near to the hole for another par. Yeah, it just drew too much to the left. Power was perfect, but just a foot off.
This one is for his par.
Okay, so we took a par on that.
John, give us an update. What's shaking?
Well, guys, I'm down here on the 6th. This is Billy Horschel.
Here we go. So it's cut into hole 6. It's going to show us as I mentioned earlier, a little preview of Billy Horschel playing his shot. He's on the 6. There you go. He chipped in from the rough, taking 1 under.
And that will move him up the leaderboard as well.
And then it just switches straight back to where we are. So there's no moving out the game, going to menus, anything like that. You're opponent shots are presented to you, which you can skip if you want to, and the standings are presented to you down in the bottom corner before each hole, so you're always there in the game, no need to move. Okay, what we'll do is we'll play this hole, and then I'll come back in, you know, a few holes time, maybe halfway through the back nine, and we'll pick up from there and just see how we get on with this first round. But for now, I'm going to play this. So it's a 5-iron, 180 yards with a carry of 7. Probably a little bit too short actually, this club, but the next club up is too long, so we're going to have to take a 2-putt on this probably. I can put the elevation in slightly. There we go. Can increase the range slightly by closing the face of the club and hitting it at an angle so it drives through the ball more. Less time in the air and a greater carry.
Looks to be going with the 5-iron.
Shot wildly swung out there. I didn't hit it very true at all. But yeah, I thought it would do. It's kicked off quite nicely because we hit it through the club, and it's actually turned out to be quite a decent approach shot.
Punt of about 15 feet in distance.
15 feet to the pin. Quite a well, average draw right to left. I think probably around about there.
Hey, nice looking line.
Bang. Straight in the middle of the cup.
Well hold.
So it's taken us back down to even after birdieing that hole. As I said, I will leave it there and we'll come back on the halfway through the back nine and pick it up from there and see how we get on. Okay, you rejoin me here on the 16th. I've had a really shocking round, to be honest. I haven't got my swing into gear at all. As a result, my approach play has been really poor, and holes I should have birdied, I've parred, and on some of the putts, just don't know what it is. I haven't got my timing right and my focus and concentration, and I've bogeyed where I should be birdieing. So it's left me with 2 over, approaching the 16th. I'm currently in 19th place on the leaderboard, which is shocking because I've won the last 2 tournaments and finished in the top 10 in the previous one. So bit of an off day for me, but that's how it goes in golf. So join me here on the 16th. We're just going to try and see if we get a couple of birdies. And that's a great stroke. That is straight down the fairway, nice and straight in the true shot line. Yeah, just going to try and get a couple of birdies and try and at least finish evens for the round. It is a 2-round event, so I'll be doing it all over again tomorrow. Another 18 holes, so I've got plenty of time. I think the lead is only -4, so plenty of opportunity to catch up, but I think we just need to try and finish today as close to evens as possible and put it down as a bad day. All right, let's approach this green. Wind's died down a little bit. We're going to leave it there, but just give it a little bit of loft, I think. Try that. Flared off to the right. You can see that on the shot meter. That's going to kick into the bunker. So just shots like this, really. I just haven't been on form at all this evening. Never mind. Oh, that'll help. That will help. Chipping out the bunker. Dr. Chapinski strikes again.
Oh, yes. What a result. Fantastically played.
Let's have another look at that. Thing with those shots out the bunker or out the rough, I usually increase the yardage on the club a little bit because of the lie in the sand or the rough, and I usually end up overshooting the hole. But that one I left it just as it was and just played the shot. And as you saw it, as it came onto the green, it just slowed up enough to creep into the hole. So maybe I need to not adjust the yardage so much in future. All right. as we can see, this dog legs around to the left. There's the green over there. I can either play straight down into this corner with a driver, but I think I'm going to attempt a fade. So let's have a look. The wind 10 miles an hour that way, so we'll get a bit of carry on it as well. And I'm going to invoke a fade, quite a bit of fade actually, there. And you'll see the trajectory now of the shot. My intention is to try and bend the shot round the corner, just so it creeps around that dog leg and gives me a closer approach to the green. Got to take into factor the wind as well, so let's see how this plays. That's a pretty good shot. You see that curling right around there. Should stop. I'm in the rough. Didn't work out quite. I didn't aim it. Didn't factor the wind in properly. Just pretty much sums up the round that I've been having, really. Very poor. That's quite a good shot.
Yeah, that one's looking good.
Yeah, again, just too much yardage on the shot. I needed to pull that back 10 yards.
A little off the target with that one.
Can't fault him there. This rough is nasty.
Here we go.
No fault in missing the green.
Ian Porter, 1 under.
Trying to get to 2 under with this putt. Big chance here.
28-foot putt, nice. So he's finished 2 under. He should be in 4th or 5th place, maybe 3rd or 4th place.
Let's return to live play now. This would be a great up and down from this spot.
I normally putt from the fringe, but this is a little bit too far out, so let's just try and dollop it right next to the hole. Ooh,
That looked good for a long time.
just off.
And with that, you can go and put a par on the card.
Would have been nice if that had gone in.
And after that effort, let's take a look at how it's
Okay, so that's the 16th done. As you can see, I'm 1 over. I'm tied in 17th place. The leader's only 4 under, so with a better round tomorrow, I can easily catch that up. So try and get this straight down the fairway. Another fairly nice strike. Just see it veered off slightly towards the right on the downswing, but should be safe. Just creeping up that hill. Okay, we've got 9 mile an hour on the wind cutting across, and the tees at the flags at the very front of the green, so I've got not much room to land the ball on to carry it across. These are really tricky shots, these ones. I can't do that. Okay, we're just gonna have to play this and see what we can try and get it on the green for a putt. Great shot, straight in the true shot marker. Wind's carried it over. Kick off the rough. That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Oh, that's great.
Still a sort of tricky putt, but that's a lot closer than I was expecting to land that ball. It's not too bad a lie on the green either. Say probably there. Just getting the putt nice and straight now on the right power. No. Well off, absolutely well off. I've been having an absolute shocker today with putting. Absolute shocker.
An opportunity to make a birdie.
Oh dear.
That will do it for this player today.
Still a birdie, brought me down to even, but as I said, that hole and the one before, I should have birdied both of those. That would have been -2. I would have been in probably the top 8. So that's it. I finished in 13th place, even. I said I wanted to try and get back to even from +3 if I could, and I've done that, so quite happy with that. But only 3 shots off the lead, so we'll pick up round 2 tomorrow. And there we go. We can see we've unlocked a new item, a new t-shirt. and we get awarded loads of XP and currency for meeting certain challenges on each hole and completing the round. You can see in the top right corner there, 1075. I can go into the shop and buy equipment, new clubs, baseball caps, all that kind of stuff. Don't think it actually makes any difference to, apart from the clubs obviously, to the performance of your golfer, but you know, it's just however you want to kit him out. So there you go. It's a little glimpse of PGA Tour 2K21. It's a fantastic game. Really enjoy it. There's a lot of skill and kind of finesse required to be good at the game, and it kind of guides you along the way, but you can tweak it however you want using the sliders for the difficulty, etc. So it's just a really good game if you want to just kick back and you know, you don't want the fast-paced tempo of like games like FIFA and other ones where you have to, you know, kind of like be really in depth with it. If you want to just kick back on the sofa, smash a ball down the fairway while the birds tweet in the background and look at some nice scenery, then it's a nice game to chill out to. So there it is, 2K21 PGA Tour. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed watching this kind of stuff, if you want to see anything more from this game, and I'll look forward to speaking to you soon.